Unit 5.10, 5.10. Let's do social ethical implications of computing systems. Now, this is a big topic, okay? And this is literally saying what are the social responsibilities and ethical responsibilities of software developers? What should they consider when they're writing software? There are a lot of topics or subtopics under this broad heading, but we're going to look at one of them. Just as an example, racial bias in artificial intelligence, AI. There's a little article here that we're going to take a look at in from towards datascience.com, and it says addressing racial bias in artificial intelligence, a guide for curious minds. And of course they have some code here for gotten from the database probably to kind of flag that article. So we're going to take a look at that and see what they discovered. So let's jump to online, and we're addressing this racial bias now. And the co-author here, and here it is. Artificial intelligence. It's no secret that humans are fallible and susceptible to biases. Nor is it a secret that these biases can influence algorithms to behave in discriminatory ways. However, it's hard to get a sense of how pervasive these biases are in the technology that we use in our everyday lives. In today's technology-driven world, we need to critically think about the impact of AI on society and how it intersects gender, class, and race. Speaking of race, just imagine being wrongfully arrested because of racial biases in algorithms. That's exactly what happened to Robert Julian Borchardt William, an African American in Michigan who was arrested from his home in front of his wife and young children. He didn't commit any crime, but a facial recognition software used by the police suspected him for shoplifting. His experience of being wrongfully jailed epitomizes how flawed technology in the hands of law enforcement can magnify the discrimination against black communities. Biases in facial recognition is now trending all over the media. Recently, a number of tech companies, including the big guys like Amazon and IBM and Microsoft, made announcements of ceasing the design and development of facial recognition services or products and stop selling them to state and local police departments and law enforcement agencies. Several researchers have pointed out the limitations and inaccuracies of these technologies and voiced concerns on how it can penetrate, or not penetrate, perpetrate discriminatory and racial profiling. So, Robert Jr.'s case clearly shows that while these decisions by technology giants can be considered as baby steps towards the right direction, these will clearly not solve the problem of racism of science that is deeply rooted in its history. So, this little article here is talking about the fact that facial recognition software identified the wrong person. Now, the question you have to wonder here is what went wrong with the algorithm that it picked up somebody for somebody else? Okay, so it picked up the wrong person. Were there racial implications in the people who made the algorithms? Were they thinking racially? Was it racially motivated? It could even be subconscious, don't even realize they're doing it. Okay, this is just one topic. And what did the big giants did? They pulled the product, right? They took it off the market and probably want more investigation before they can release this stuff to the public. So this is one example of the ethical computing, the idea of having a social responsibility when you write code. I know most of the time you don't think there's one social responsibility. This is just one example of many, okay? So just to be aware, when you write code, you have to be socially aware, you have to be ethically aware. And that brings us to the end of 5.8.